Hello, good morning. Frida,
Hello, good morning.
how are you?
Please, I'm fine.
So, what are your members? How many are you?
I can't really tell. The course rep is
You are the course rep.
no, please.
Can you get in touch with him so that they can come on board? It's 12 minutes past 7. And I was even thinking it was 8 teaching weeks, only to notice that it is just 4 weeks. So, if we are late, it will be a worry because it's just 4 teaching weeks. So, we have to be on time.
All right,
I'll be
please.
online before 7, but still waiting for you guys. You have only one student joining.
All right, please. No, the
No.
students are on. We have about 8 people on at the moment.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay. I think I opened a different thing. Okay, then since we are eight, I think we can just start.
All right, please. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How are we all?
Good morning. We are fine.
Oh, okay. So you were online and you have been quiet throughout.
No, no, but the network wasn't good, so we're struggling to join.
Oh, okay. All right. I
Mm.
thought it was only Frida online, so I was asking her to call the group. But I don't know. Do you know the number? So it seems
Yes,
like you are eight, because myself plus the code switch makes the 10. That is the number I've seen here.
they're supposed to be 18 in number.
Hey, so less than half. That is too bad. Anyways, those who can reach them on phone should not just text them, because if they are asleep, they will not see the text message. Should call them. You should call them as many times as they can. Okay. Meanwhile, the calling shouldn't be distractive here, distracting the course here. All right, you're all welcome to document processing one. The course is structured that ideally should have been a fully practical course, but fortunately or unfortunately, it is being taught online. But I expect that we all can find that practical feel in our homes, in our various homes. I have a way of checking if you are actually engaging in this practical course. Actually, so a minute. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so the course is structured that we should have a practical feel of it. Okay, so I invite you all to have laptops, please. I hope by now you all have laptops. University students, please, if you have a laptop, you just give me a thumbs up so that I can see those who have it and those who don't. Try and get them. If you are using your phone, a lot of things we will discuss here will not help with the phone. I'm being honest with you. One, we are going to do a lot because it's document one. We are going to use Microsoft Word a lot, and I know though you can add that feature on your phone by downloading it at Play Store. But I bet you some features that we want to talk about and how to use them, you will not get it. You will not get that practical feel using the phone. So please, the first thing is to try and get your laptops. as much as possible. Try it. This Christmas, use the money for pizza and the money for all the hamburgers and everything. Say to yourself, this is a big sacrifice to me. Let me use it to buy a laptop. Investing in yourself, okay? If you agree, say amen. All right. So that is it. It's structured to be practical, but we will still have that practical feel no matter what. At a point in time, it would pause for us to do that little practicals, and it will be done throughout the teaching. For the 4 weeks I meet you, you pause, you work small on your laptop, you give me the feedback, you take snapshots of whatever you have done and put it on the WhatsApp page. I believe we have a WhatsApp page. If you have not added me, kindly add me. I will post questions there for you to solve. We would do most of the assessment there. That is, in the course of the week, you'll be asked to do 1 or 2 things. You just take snapshot and you post it there. And of course, those who have different names, that is not registered. It will be difficult to locate. So at least you can have a first name there that we all know, and we can call you by that name, and we will know that you are the one who actually did the work and you have posted it there.
Okay.
So in other words, assuming you are Frida and then your WhatsApp name is Queenster, I will not know that it's Frida who has done the work. So probably for the purpose of this work, if you still maintain your Queenster, it's fine. But when you post your work, then you just have to make sure you write beneath it, oh, Frida sent this work and all that, so that we can be working hand in hand and having a very good interaction. Okay. So without much ado, this is introduction to computers for the first unit. I'll be talking a lot, but I know for the basics, in fact, everybody should, today is going to be a recap. And recap is not a lecture method. I believe you know that. Recap is what? Engaging students. So all of you should come on board and tell me your previous knowledge on computers. It can be the definition of what you think computer is, some of the features that will help you to identify if this is truly a computer or it is something else, and probably the functions, what it requires, what does it do, anything. So can we start with what it is, definition? Yes, quickly, 2 or 3 people, then we move on to what the functions are and their properties or something like that.
Madam, please, I'm here.
Okay, can I say okay, or I should use Tina?
Madam Tina.
Okay. Okay is old-fashioned, eh? My school mother was Augustina, but she liked calling Tina, but as for me, I call her Oge. And she was not happy with it.
Madam, please, a computer is an electronic device that accepts and processes data.
Good. So at least we have seen some 2 functions of a computer as accepting data and processing data, right? So smart selective. When we come to the functions, you have already mentioned 2. Okay, who else?
I will also say it's an electronic device that makes work easier.
Okay. Yeah, all good. So who else? Okay, let's move on to the functions. Can we say a little about the history of computers? Who invented computer? This one is quick mental. Do you have an idea who invented the computer? Okay, oh, yes, go ahead, just go ahead.
Oh, okay, madam. I think it's Charles Babbage.
Okay, good. That's right. All right. So let's look at the functions of a computer. My slides isn't showing a. That's what I'm doing. Or it's showing. Are you there?
Yes, please, we are here.
Okay, so we have, okay, what about the merits? Let's talk quickly on the merit. Today we are going to do 2 units, units 1 and 2. So we want to rush through this quickly and then we move on to unit 2. So we've discussed the definition, the importance. You mentioned one. Okay, as you rightly said, so it stems from the word what computer. It's actually a Latin word which means what calculate. That means that ideally the function of a computer from history was to calculate or to computate, to compute data. So usually we have the calculator because at that era was usually the business era where we deal with buying and selling. We want to add, subtract because that was that era. Then we later realized that it could perform many other functions. So we took we this it started from what data, the raw facts. Those who are IT inclined will tell us that we have binary digits, that is the zeros and ones, and that is how that is the computer's language. And that is, to us, we see that, oh, we have typed the letter C, the letter O, the letter M, the letter P, the letter U, T, E, R. But in its raw fact, you realize that it's full of zeros and ones to process it. So after the CPU has processed it, you would rather come and see on your screen that the zeros and ones or the binary digits that the computer understands is actually what computer, which I've just spelled it out. So that is the process data. That is the information we receive now. Now the types of computers. Do you remember them way back in school? Supercomputers, mainframe, mini, and micro. Yes, who is going to tell us the definition of each of them or the meaning of each of them, especially with mini and micro, their functions and what they usually do. Hello. Hello. You can unmute yourself and answer.
Yeah, with the mini computer, as its name implies, is smaller in size, but it's a very powerful machine. as compared to the others. And that's a little, well, that's what I can say about it.
Okay. So, or in all the 4 types, super, mainframe, mini, and micro, you say that the least among them is the micro. Mini is actually bigger than the microcomputers. The microcomputers are the desktop, the laptop, and probably we even have is it palm top or something like that. So, as you rightly said, let's start from supercomputers, usually the largest, and it's very, very complex. Which industries are usually fond of using the supercomputers? Can we talk of the weather forecast people having this magnificent computers? I think I have copies, pictures here. See how magnificent this is. There are other types. Okay, so in terms of speed, so it is more like the bigger its size and the that is the more functions it creates. So supercomputers, it's bigger in size. It has some features like high speed, accuracy, higher or bigger storage capacity. And in terms of communication, we can talk about maybe the weather forecast group and other these small if I said, oh, this chemical reaction group. The word has just escaped me. And in terms of productivity, you can see that it is very, very productive. Used in most manufacturing companies, high risk like mining and others. In terms of the disadvantage, of course, anything that is durable and has a lot of functions comes with a cost. And in terms of security too, there is risk. In cases of virus, when Trojan horse, you can imagine a very big computer doing a lot of functions, catching virus and creating problems. Cybercrime, where people deliberately hack organizations' accounts, tax them, and then causes small trouble to them. And there is risk of public safety as well as what? Health issues. Even the usual computers or the laptops, pen drives, the the macro, what we use, may also have the same. Now, even small laptop, I'm looking for a laptop and the prices they are quoting, I called Franco, they were quoting 6,000, 5,000. I said, what is the least price? 4,000. I was like, Christmas, I do not having promotion. He said, that is the promotion price. Then I'm like, hey, then it's really, really costly now. Okay, so let's look at the 4 basic functions of a computer. As you rightly said, it starts with what? Inputs. You first need to input data into the computer. The processor processes it. There's an output, and for future use, you'd want to store it. So it starts with input and ends with what? Storage. But you realize that with this chart here, we have 2 arrows at the processing side. So sometimes you may not even have the output before you store, like we usually do, storing on our pen drive. But right from the processing stage, our RAM, so you remember we have the RAM and ROM. RAM and ROM, which one stores data permanently and which one stores it temporarily? That's a quick task. Hello?
Hi.
Madam, the ROM. The ROM is the permanent one and the RAM is the temporary one.
Okay. Can you give us the full name?
The ROM is read-only memory and the RAM is read access memory. Random access memory. Sorry.
Random.
I thought.
Okay, that is absolutely right. Random access memory and read-only memory. The latter stores it permanently. That is, ROM is permanently, and random, so it's temporary. So you are right. Let's move on. So we discuss this. And then the components. Do you remember hardware, software? These things we did it in primary. Can we say something on it? Hardware, physical parts, right? That we can see, feel, and touch. So we can feel the monitor. We can touch it. We can see it on the screen. Keyboard, you can press it, touch it. The mouse, you can feel it. Some people hold the mouse and they are running away. Is it going to bite them? Then the software. Software, usually the programs you wish to install on your machine for use. So we can mention some softwares. What popular software do you use on your laptop? Mention a few, then move on. So just like the functions itself has a device. So we talked about the input function, where we are looking at the processing function. A function is being used to describe how we receive the information. So when we input into the computer, of course, how do we input it? We would have to input it using a device. You get it? That is how the devices come in. Each and every function has a device. So it's playing a double role. It is a function because you input information, you input data into the computer. It is processing state because the computer has to process the data you have put into it. And then it is output because after it has processed it, it would have to give us feedback on the data we have put into the computer as a way of giving us what information and the storage, which may come before the output or come after it, depending on the type of storage device. For example, just as you said, the primary storage, of course, before it comes out as information, it has to store data either permanently or temporarily before it comes out. And after the output, we can still have storage where we may have external storage devices like you can use your hard disk drive. Sorry, you can have your hard disk drive, or you can have what flash drive, the pen drive, CD-ROM. Do you still have CDs? Those days, Esther Smith time, her songs, you've been buying it using CDs, right? I'm sure we may still have some in the system. Okay, the Gen Z people don't know the CDs, but we know. So, like we said, any device that will help with the input of information, then we label it as the input devices. You can mention a number of them, right? These ones are just for objective tests. So when I ask you like this, please mention them, because we still had students with simple objective questions. Which of the following is an example of input devices? And all the devices there are mixed up with processing device, storage device, and output devices. And then the person chose an odd answer, which was not correct. So these things, please, just understand the concept. If you pick a device like motherboard, you can't say motherboard is input device. It's a processing device, because even though the actual processing device here is a CPU, which is what the control processing unit. But where is the CPU located? It's on the motherboard. So if you are thinking to see CPU as part of your possible answers, and you don't see CPU and you see motherboard, of course, you select that one as the answer. Do you get it? But to go and select maybe scanner as a processing device because you feel you are using it to scan a document, so it's processing the document for you. It's totally wrong. Scanner is an input device. Do you understand? So just familiarize yourself with some of these examples and ask yourself, why is it? So I'll mention another device, speaker. What does it do? What function does it perform? You first have to speak through the microphone, right? So speaking through the microphone becomes what? An input device. And then when you speak through the microphone, how do you hear whatever you have said, especially when somebody is far from you? It is because of which device? The speaker. So the person is not hearing what you said from the microphone, but is hearing the sound from where? The speaker. Do you understand the issue now? So don't say that, oh, this is true and poor. Hey, I forgot to, this and I was confused. I chose microphone to be output device because you feel like you speak into the microphone and you immediately hear the sound. So hearing the sound is coming out. So it's output device. No. You speak to it, input. The sound you heard is coming from where? The speaker. Because without the speaker, how do you work with the microphone? Do you understand the relationship now? So these ones, they are just simple logic. So don't just go and read, but understand why it is an input device, why is a processing device, why is an output device. And these two, RAM and ROM, usually comes in objectives. Which one is temporary? Which one is permanent? We interchange them. Okay. We move on to the types of output devices. CRT is what? CRT.
Crystal CR ray tube. Crystal ray tube.
Is it crystal? Do we agree? Cathode ray tube and liquid crystal display. Is the C there's for liquid crystal display. And LED is what? Light emitting diode. Hey, when we hey, I'm going to bring my key. That's what you've been using on students, right? Hello?
Hi.
Okay, so do we remember which one is we call it a tipo?
That's the cartridge or is a cartridge ray tube.
Cathode ray
cathode.
tube.
Okay. CRT cathode. Okay.
Okay, that is a tipo.
Yes.
So have you seen it before? Of course.
Yeah.
You are old people. You are not the Gen Z. The Gen Z generation, there's a smart devices. Those days, Christmas like this, we have only one rich neighbor that you would go and then you would go and watch TV there. You go and watch this Sunday movie called funny thing. Oh, Sunday. Drama. That's right. Cantata is in the afternoon. The evening is account drama. You have forgotten. Cantata was when you were eating your fufu in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon after church. Then the account drama in the evening.
In the evening. That's
anyways, that's it.
Saturday is concert party.
Good. You remember the kind of television you were. But I've learned that the courts, they are still using these typewriters and this LTRT for a purpose. I'm sure it's because of the debenture. They want the print to still look like the print, the fonts to be like the typewriter. So they maintain the old version. That is fine. So if you have not seen it, you can go visit any of our courts, whether it's small courts, I'm sure the straight ones would have them. Then the system unit and the mouse, they are all there. They are all examples of output devices. Now with the mouse shapes, quickly, whenever we are using the laptop, we have different types of shapes on the mouse. We call them cursor. The mouse, and then we say, oh, cursor, the cursor, the cursor. They are all what types of mouse shapes. Today we would want to learn why a particular shape using a particular at a particular time.
Okay.
Am I right, Shin?
No, that's okay.
Okay. The pacing is fine, right? So the mouse shapes, what do you see? The first shape there. The first line, the shapes there are what?
Triangles.
Okay. The first one is, the line. The next line, it looks like what?
Arrows.
Yes, it's an arrow. So the first shape we'll discuss is the arrow shape. The arrow shapes. At what time do you usually see these arrow shapes?
When we are moving the cursor, the mouse, when you move the mouse, the cursor moves.
Okay. Okay. Using which documents?
Especially when you are trying to select a particular document, like the BBC.
Oh, just continue.
That's a bit sure. Moving a cursor on the desktop. Now, you want to select a particular icon.
Okay, good. So, for example, the first one you see is called arrow shape. Arrow is usually used to extend the size of an open window and some dialog boxes. You know what a dialog box is? I wanted to okay, if we have our desktop in front of us, we can try and then when you right click anything that it's more like a pop-up menu. Like for instance, when you right click it, you may have functions there like we get to where how you create a folder and other things. But a dialog box, when you click something and then it opens up for you. I don't know how I should. Then it gives you some options. For example, okay, assuming you're even typing and then you right click and then some options are cut, copy, paste, all those things. They are all forms of dialog boxes. Then we have the pointer. Let's go back. The pointer, also looks like the arrow key. Usually, I think the pointer would be the first shape that looks like an arrow. You see, arrow has the leg. Let me just use the word the leg attached to the triangle. So you may have this one also as the pointer. And what does it do? It's usually used to select objects. If you have smaller icons, okay, if you like, let's just open any icon on the laptop or your desktop, depending on what machine you are using. You realize that when you are going to open that icon, be it a folder on your desktop or be it the Chrome or any of those programs that has already been installed on your laptop, is still an icon. Any icon. You say icons are what? The small boxes or things on your desktop. By default, you may have Chrome, You may have Opera Mini and other forms of icons. So when you click on any of them, you realize that it is a pointer that goes to it. Before you are going to select it, it's used to select it. So any object you select with, you use the pointer. Then look at this. That looks like a circle, but it's not a complete circle because it's more like work in progress circle. I call it work in progress because usually that is what you refer as the hourglass. Hourglass. And that hourglass, because that the work in progress is in quotes to understand, to remember, because whenever the computer is busy, you see anything that is busy will not open at once. And no, because maybe at the end of that, is the hourglass. Do you get it? It's the hourglass. So usually when the computer is busy, you have opened so many things. One software you have used to open so many things. So the same internet, Chrome, you have opened YouTube, you have opened TikTok, you have opened YouTube, you have opened this, you have opened that, you've opened that, and that you are using that same Chrome to also work on a particular project. And you think all those places that you have opened using the same internet, you think it will not slow down the machine? It will definitely slow down because you are using the same internet. And if your network is even bad, then it is worse. You realize that it will just be what? Going round, 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 round. And
Good morning. Can you all hear me? Hello, good morning.
Yes, please. I can hear you.
My name
Yes,
is
we can hear you.
okay. My name is Favor, and I'm the online monitor for this course. I think the course is document processing. When I first came, your lecturer was teaching, but now that I'm here to check again, it's like she's offline. I wanted to ask if what's going on. Did she say anything or what happened?
I think it just went off.
Oh, without saying anything.
Hey, that's a good
It's
family.
like
She
it
has
went
joined
off for
back.
you.
She
It
has
went off
joined.
for
She
you.
has rejoined.
Okay, Madam President, I see you. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
So I was asking of the grabber or the hand. Where did it go off? When did it go off?
It just went off.
Then I have not said much. Is I asked you about the grabber or the hand.
Mhm.
So the grabber or the hand, you have seen it, right? What does it do? So that one is used to select and open menus and sometimes to open an HTML link. So when you have a link that usually has the HTML, you realize that it's instead of the usual I-beam to select a text, you see that the cursor shows itself like a hand, and we call it either a grabber or the hand. And then the arrow, as we discussed earlier, is also used to what? Extend the size of an open window. Okay. So let's all try these techniques, but unfortunately, most of you are using laptops and are not using a desktop. So just put your hands there and have an imaginary what mouse. Or if you have an extended mouse tool that is connected to your laptop, that is fine. We have some students who have an external mouse connected to their laptop. But most of us are just using the cursor, the one that we use our hands to be touching and flipping here and there, right? Dragging it here and there. So let's all try it. Pointing. Point to any object on your screen. And then how do you do that? Use the mouse to move onto that thing that you want to point at it. So before you select, you first point at it, right? Then you click on it. Whenever we say just click it or just click on it, nobody has to tell, don't ask me, should I click the left or the right? Clicking is referring to us pressing and releasing the left button. So if you have an imaginary mouse, just put your hands there. Clicking will be what? Clicking your index finger, right? Just once. Release it just once. When you have to double click, then you press and release it twice, right? When you have to right click, you rather may prefer to use what? Your middle finger to click on the right side of the button. When you say double click, don't ask me, should I double click the left or the right button? Double clicking is just clicking twice the left button. Then the right clicking is just to click on the right once. So how do we drag? You call something drag and drop. You drag by holding whatever you want to drag from a particular point to another point. Maybe you are drawing some charts. You want to put them all together like pie charts, those who enjoy pizza. They are all have been what? Partitioned. And then you want to put all these pies together, forming a whole circle. And they are positioned anywhere, as if you are playing a game. So what do? You want to drag and drop it. Then be dragging and dropping till you have your complete circle, right? So what do? When you meet one pie, you just hold it, drag it to the portion where you want it to fill. to be part of the circle. And then you do what? You leave it, you release it. So that is what? The dragging and your dropping. So dragging is dragging it from the first side. As soon as you release it at the place you want it to be, you have what? Dropped it. So that is dragging and dropping. Okay. Now we are moving on to keyboard, which is an input device. We already mentioned it. What do you see on your keyboard? What do you see on the keyboard? We are going to build on something also. Please, you have to all partake in it. Then I'll take you back to the course title. What is the course title? Hello. The course title is document processing. What comes to mind? What comes to mind? You can interchange them and just tell us. That is the Ghanaian way of explaining things. What is it? You can interchange the word and just tell us. What is it?
Document is about data, and processing is by transforming the data into a useful information. So it's all about computer.
Okay. So you realize that just as the course title says, it's document processing. That means you want to process a document. And before you come or before you are able to achieve that document, what goes into that document? What goes into that full work that you can, hey, I'm going for my document. You ask yourself, how did we get that document? Something went into it. That is right from the onstart, we give you words. Other than that, I'll just start and then you start with processing the document. But we want to start from the scratch, introduction to computers, so that you know what goes into what processing of this document we are doing. You understand? Some
Yes.
people will be asking, Madam, University lecture now or introduction to computers. What do you mean? Don't worry. We would get into how these documents are actually processed, and you would appreciate the course. So I want to move quickly so that because you have just 4 weeks, some of the courses may not be taught, but I'm trying to combine them. At least ideally, if you are to do 1 unit a day, we are going to have 2 units a day. So be ready. You break for like 10 minutes, you come back, and then we continue. Okay. So having this idea in mind, you realize that whatever goes into the processing should be taught. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
And before you process a document, something should be put into the document. You can't process what you don't have.
Mhm.
You want to prepare jollof rice. Jollof rice, and that day, and that Sunday, jollof rice would be nice. So, Charlie. The first thing is, what do you need, right? Assuming you already have your data, which is your ingredients, rice, tomatoes, oil, ginger, pepper, whatsoever. Obi kwa the prekese beto so. Prekese. Right? I watched, this is just by the way, just to ease some tension. I watched a Christiba, you know Christiana Love. That's her daughter that resembles her so much. And I just said Christmas do and a boyfriend or Tonyum, oh Charlie, so romantic. With a very beautiful pink box, you know, ladies and pink. Where they're not sure. Obi so yellow flowers been a gumu crying and umpo and can cry. You know the gift, prekese. There, who did the anibia, so prekese anymore, who dear ye. See, we had your love prekese. Oh, yeah, chiboma, or the prekese better so. Bibia is prekese, and that is good. Anyway, so you have all these ingredients there. The fact is, you need to put things together. So what do you need? You need to get a saucepan and be inputting. Put it in. Some of us, you want to do everything, then you just give it low heat and go away. Me, I don't have time. You put oil in first, then you put tomatoes in, you put onion in. You'll be standing there confused. Should I put pepper in first or I should put tomatoes in first? Waste of time. Put everything in, go your way. I don't know then put yes, sir. So keyboard, that input device, you realize that so many things are on the keyboard. At a point in time, you see symbols. Have you identified the symbols? On top of the numeric keys, we will come to them all. Then you see alphabets, A. Then you see numbers. Then you see some special keys. Madam, I can see, can you mention them? In fact, I shouldn't be the one to tell you. Mention some special keys you see there, apart from the numbers and then the alphabets.
Backspace.
Backspace, okay. And what else? Because we are going to combine some of these. We are going to combine some of these keys when we go deeper into keyboard. Keyboarding is a full, objective test. Right, yes, because there's a lot into keyboarding. So examples are
Delete button.
delete or backspace, and what else? Shift or alt key, control keys. These keys are more of a special key. Special because you usually don't press it like that.
Alter key.
You would what? Press it in combining it with another key to bring out a function, right? Okay, so the characters that are engraved on the keys, that is the keyboard. We are using the word characters. We didn't say the numbers that are engraved on the keys, because it's not only numbers you see, right? It's not only alphabet you see. The alphabet you see on the keys, that is not keyboard, because not only the alphabet and numbers, symbols are included, special keys are there. So all of these things, we refer them as characters. Do you get them? Okay, you will get to understand it better when you get to Unit 2. How the documents are made. Then, so be it symbol, numbers, or anything, that is the types of keyboard. You have your desktop, we have your laptop, the ones that are used for games and others, the guys. You go to the game center, we have the foldable ones and the virtual. These are the images of the types. Have you seen them? The virtual one, sometimes it is virtual, so somebody says it is spiritual. You usually don't feel it like it's here. Sometimes it might be on your screen, and then you are just typing on your screen. The keyboards will show on your screen and you type the keys on the screen. So that one too is an example. Ideally, the traditional keyboard is what the QWERTY, what you refer to as the QWERTY keyboard. You understand? QWERTY. Why do you think we call it QWERTY? QWERTY. Any idea? Or I should zoom it for you. You can see, or if you can't see the drawing, you are already having the laptop. So what?
We can see. Madam, please, I think it's because of the arrangement of that QWERTY on the
So where
keyboard.
is it? Which part of the key?
Madam, it's the first row of the letters.
Yes, exactly, the alphabet. So the first 5, is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first 6 alphabets you see is what? QWERTY. So we call it the QWERTY keyboard. Because of the invention of keyboards and how computers are there are new types of computers and other things. We may have laptops or even some types of computers not having it spelled this way. But the traditional ones we all know is the QWERTY, right? The one that starts with QWERTY. And that stems back to what? The typewriter. So if we had been in the regular class, we would have started what? Learning our keyboards, mastering them on our fingertips without watching on them. We are not going to do hands and peck in document processing class. For regular students, the first thing we make the students aware is you are professional administrators, secretaries, managers, or manager, or whatsoever. As professional as you are, you don't have to be doing hands and peck. Your boss is saying type a letter or type the minutes for we are having our meeting in the next 1 or 2 hours. Type it like pages, 4 pages, and you are now coming to ask, where is Q? Where is R? Where is S? No, you don't do that. You master all the keys on your fingertips, and then you start typing without looking on the keypad. We see them and we say, hey, these people are working magic. They are not working magic. They have mastered the art of typing. You get it now, because of AI and other things, you just scan a document and it will give you the document as if you type them one by one. But nonetheless, we need to still know how to type using the traditional way by mastering the keys. So even though we are not going to have that practical session, but I would urge you all to start with Mavis Beacon. It's a very good start for mastering your keys. ASDF, colon, LKG, that is the home rule keys. You put your hands there, you master it, you know your home rule keys. ASDF form, that is your left hand. That is where your hands will be on the keys, colon, LKG, it is there. Then you continue moving to the top, moving to the down, using the space, using capital letters, small letters, and then using numbers. Then you are good to go. So that is just by the way. Even though you may not have that practical session in your closet, try as much as possible, get the Microsoft Mavis Beacon and just be doing this, enhancing your typing skills, because it's also important as a way of proving that you were a true secretary or you were a administrator, manager, whatsoever. Okay, so looking at the part of a keyboard, you realize that the very first key at your top is what? The escape key. It is there. What do you see again? Most of the keys starts right after the escape key, start with what? F1 up to F12. And because it started with F, the letter F, we call them what? Functional keys. Functional keys. We would explain each of them and what is being used for. Then right after the functional keys, I think beneath it, you may have your backspace key. Others may have it together. I think beneath it from the functional keys, you have your num keys, right? When your numerical keypad, some may be at your right, the numbers. Numbers is the numeric keypad. That same numeric keypad at your right may also be aligned beneath the functional key. So you have 1 to 0, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, and then 0. So if you want 10, you don't have 10. What do you press? You press 1 and 0, then you move on. So on top of these 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the numeric keys, you usually have symbols on them. For example, on top of 1, you have the letter, the symbol what? Exclamation mark. Those who are using their phones, you are not responding. Have you seen? You are not responding because you are using phones for the meeting. But if you are using a laptop, you agree with me. On top of 1 is what? The exclamation mark. That shows that all those symbols on top of 1 can only be gotten with a combination of what? The shift key. That is why we call them the special, we have a name for it, this, the modifier keys. It modifies because it's pressed alone does not give you a function, but pressing it together with another key gives you a function. So when you press shift simultaneously with the number 1, what do you get? The function or the result? The result is what? Exclamation mark. When you press shift together with 2, what is the result? At, assuming you want to type Gmail, your mail, frida@gmail.com. So the at, the shift, and then the number 2 simultaneously. You don't press one and release and press the other. No, press the 2 at the same time. So that is there. So we have what? I've spoken of the functional keys, F1 to F12. Each of the functional keys has a role to play. We talk about it. Then beneath it, we have what? The num key or the numeric keypad, which also has a modifier key on top. Because you press it together with the shift, you can have those modifiers. That is, they are modifiers because it is an additional thing, except excluding the alphabet and the numbers. So it can be a symbol or another function that it has to perform. Then right after them, you have the backspace. Please, backspace and then delete key. Who can explain the two? What is it used for? They are both used to omit or delete a text, right? But in which manner are you deleting? That is the reason. Oh, that is the emphasis. Backspace is used to delete text where? And the delete key is used to delete text where? Who is telling us the difference?
The backspace key is used to erase characters to the left of the cursor.
Okay. In other words, it's used to delete backwards. So backwards from the cursor. So when the cursor is on S, part of a keyboard, that means it's plural. Then you realize that the S is, assuming we have another S. Okay, assuming we want to have it a singular part of a keyboard, we are just talking about one part of a keyboard. You want to clean the S. If you want to clean it using backspace, where should the cursor be? The question is, do you understand me?
Mhm.
You have parts of a keyboard, P-A-R-T-S. And then instead of P-A-R-T-S, you want P-A-R-T. So you want to delete or take away the letter S. Using the backspace, where exactly should you position your cursor?
In front of the S.
Good. Meanwhile, if you want to use the delete key, that means you have to position it behind the S. Why? Because when you put the cursor behind the S and you press the delete key, it deletes the word that comes after what? The cursor. So you said the delete key is for deleting what? Words or letters or character, any character in front of the cursor. Any character in front of the cursor is deleting. But if it is deleting it backwards, that is why we say backspace, it's deleting it backwards, then the cursor should actually be in front of whatever you want to delete. That is why you can delete it backwards. I believe this is fine. So please, don't be typing and then be thinking you are deleting backwards and then you're actually pressing the delete key. And said, the machine, you are saying, no. Don't quarrel with the machine. Computer language is simple. Whatever is what garbage in, garbage out, whatever you do is the feedback you get. So you are pressing, you want to delete backwards, and then you are put the cursor somewhere and it's deleting all the content in front of you, and you are worried. It is your interpretation. You understand? Okay. So without wasting much time, The reason why we take our time with the keyboard is because basically all the documents you are going to process is the use of the keyboard, and you must understand these functions. When you understand the functions of a keyboard, you are good to go. When you have a mouse, you can be clicking here and there, but keyboard performs a lot of functions than mouse. That is why it is attached even to a laptop. Other than that, you would have just been using a tablet to be working, but you need to type words. You need to understand these things. Any question to this side? Any question? Then we have the navigation keys. What does the word navigate mean? Navigate. What does it mean to navigate? It's an English word. Navigate means what? To move, right? So what do you see at the navigation keys? We have what? Page up, page down, and home key and all that. Have you seen it? Some of our laptops doesn't have that navigation keys, but the traditional keyboard has it. So like the home row keys, it takes you back to the home. Like page down, page up, moving from a page to a page and all that. So you use the navigation keys or the editing keys. It helps you to be moving around. You want to go to the first paragraph, you want to go to the last paragraph, you want to go here, you want to go there, you are using it, you are going to use the navigation key. It performs a similar function with the directional keys, but the direction is actually giving you a particular direction. That one, it will move in bits. Unlike the navigation, that one, it can be at your first page and would move to the next page, or be at your first paragraph and move to the last paragraph of your entire work. But the directional keys moves in bits. So maybe first line, when you are using the fair arrow, it will go to the next line upwards. When you're using the down arrows, it goes to the immediate line after the previous one, right or left. So that is how it moves with the directional keys. And we have other special keys that we made mention: Alt, Control, keyboard, Control keys, and then the Windows key. They all perform a task. They can also be referred to as well the modifier keys. And as I said earlier, you can't press Alt alone and you think you can attain a result unless it is pressed together with a particular key. Then you can see the results. So we can try our hands on them in the next 2 minutes, then we move on. So alphanumeric keys. A minute more to try your hands on all the keys we have discussed. Just use your eyes to go through them, because as a good document processor, in fact, you are the one processing the document, you should be conversant with your keyboard.
No, I think it's the network.
You should not, and even if you're under pressure, you should not forget your keys. Pentom cry and a Q crash and where is the escape key? Where is the alt key? Where is the backspace? You should know where they are positioned. Do you understand? So whether you're under pressure or you are not, of course, you would always be under pressure. So the best thing is know your keys. Assuming you're under pressure and you don't also know your keys, and time is catching you, or you are supposed to deliver a document, and you don't also know your keys, and you are under pressure, you can imagine how you will suffocate. So it's better to know your keys, know wherever they are positioned, and what practice makes man perfect. Practice them all the time. We are fond of always giving our work to the typist to type our assignment for us. Henceforth, after document processing, nobody should give their assignment or project work to anybody to type. Do it all by yourself. You understand? Do it all by yourself. And because we had the opportunity to learn to do it by ourselves, I mean, no typist has chopped my money. Let me use the word chop so that you can see the reality of it, because I do it all by myself. The only thing is, well, of course, if I don't have access to printer, I gave them, they will take the money for printing, but not for preparing the document for me. For printing, fine, but not for preparing the document. At a point in time, I even had my own printer. So nobody's going to take my money even for printing, right? From processing the documents to bringing out the documents, everything is on me. Then you realize you save a lot of money. Okay. These are the alphanumeric keys. As the word sounds, the name itself says alpha. That means alphabet, and numeric means what? Numbers. So there are two keys. The alphabetic keys and the num keys, or the numeric keys, gives you the alphanumeric keys. And we can mention a number of them, right? The alphabet and then the key that we know. Apart from it having the alphabet and the numbers, it also has what we call the tabs, the caps lock, the backspace, the shift, enter, and all that. The tab key, what does it do? Usually when you press the tab key and you are typing, what does it do? Yeah, just reminding ourselves, because you are moving straight to the actual document we want to process. Then you realize that the basis is important. We are setting the tone for the document processing itself. So the tab key, what is the function of the tab key? Hello? What is the function of the tab key? Hello? Hey. Okay, let me just.
Hi.
Yes.
Yeah, so-
Are you there?
yes,
What is the problem?
we don't know. That's why.
Okay, the tab key. Oh, so this is a clear indication that probably you have been sending your words to the typist to type for you. When you are setting a tone like the paragraph, that small space you leave before you type, usually for paragraphing, right? You can either use a tab key or you click 3 spaces. The space bar, the long rectangular bar at the bottom, that is the space bar. Have you seen it? So when you click 3 spaces, then you start typing, you see that you leave a paragraph, especially when you are using the indented paragraph. Once a primary school, write about yourself. Some of us, when we started writing, because we don't know how to leave spaces, we put our index finger there before we write to show that we have left a paragraph, right? That is the indented style of paragraphing.
Okay.
Yes. So instead of you leaving 3 spaces with the backspace, you just click on the tab key, then you start typing. Tab key is very consistent. So me, I love using the tab key other than clicking 3 spaces, because sometimes when you click the 3 spaces, it doesn't even give you the required space you want. And you may increase it to 4 or 5. So assuming you want a consistent one, the first paragraph, you have clicked 4 spaces. Then the second paragraph, you are clicking 5. The next one, you are clicking 3. You are being inconsistent. But when you press the tab key, it gives you that accurate pace you have to leave before you start typing, showing clearly that your work has been indented, the paragraphs have been indented. Okay. So that is it. Then the shift and the, as I said, they are all modifier keys. You don't press control alone and go your way. Nothing will be controlled for you. But assuming you press the control and the letter C, the control keys, you learn them soon. You press control and the letter C, but you have learned it in basic school. Do you remember your shortcut keys? Control plus C is what? Shortcut keys. Let's go back and learn all our control keys, all our modifier keys, all our functional keys, because the time is coming, you will be quizzed, and multiple choice questions. These are the areas that I love to quiz you. This one for here, you would accept memorization, but it's not just memorization, it's about practicing together with memorization. So you remember control plus C is what? Copy. Then you don't just learn control C, copy, control X, cut, control V, paste. You copy a text, and instead of you to use the cursor and then right click and copy, you want to highlight on the text you want to copy and just use control C. That means you are going to press the control key and the letter C simultaneously after you have selected the text. That means you have copied the text. Then you move on to the last paragraph and come and paste the text there. That is the copy. So for students, they like copy and paste. You go and copy from a website and you come and paste directly on your assignment page with no modification, with no citation to even appreciate the person who said it, no referencing. Then you get a beautiful word, 0. Do you understand? Because you like copy and paste. It is good because you are learning what? Your control key. So you learn to copy and paste, but you don't learn to copy and paste in your assignment for me. You have to do what? Modify it. Whether you paraphrase, you cite the author. Don't just say it. Say it according to Akwete 2025. She said, fear men. Don't come and stay here and say fear men. Okay. That's just by the way. So learn your keys, learn your shortcut keys, learn your enter keys. Somebody's laughing. Learn your special function keys, how to use them. Now we are going to quiz you quickly on the functional keys I discussed, I said earlier, the functional keys. Okay, before we move on to the functional keys, apart from the copy and paste example I gave, who else remember a shortcut keys that they usually use in their document processing? I mean, whether you are typing an assignment or you are preparing PowerPoint slides or whatsoever for a presentation. Do you remember some of the shortcut keys you used to do? Tell us.
Control plus S.
Good. That is for what?
Save document.
Good. Good. Alice.
Madam, control plus Z, undo.
D.
Z, control plus
Z. Yeah. So sometimes you realize you mistakenly deleted some text. Hey, yay! How can I delete a full page? You know how long it took me to type this one full page. Why is my computer working this way? Hey, so am I going to type the whole thing again? But if you have learned your shortcut keys, you can undo it, right? And get back the missing item by pressing what? Control plus Z. You can as well find some of these shortcut keys on your web page at the top there. So you can find the undo and redo buttons as well. Redo is what? If Z is undo, redo is what?
Control plus Y.
Good. Who else? At least you have a fair idea of the shortcut keys. What about the functional keys? You have a list of them to learn. So please don't just memorize it, otherwise you forget. You come there and then we'll give you a lot of functions. And then we'll tell you which of these functions perform this task. Then because you have not practiced the task, how you perform that task, you went to do memorization. You will just say, hey, where they attribute you? Hey, document processing, multiple choice, and you when you practice them, okay, how do you perform this function? Then you practice what? Redoing something. I remember I pressed Control and Y. Then you choose that one because the options Control plus Y will be there, Control plus Z will be there, Control plus A will be there. And you intentionally even bring Control plus R to confuse some of you when you are looking for the function redo, because you think it's starting with R. You think R is what? Redo. But R means what? The Control plus R is for what? Assignments. I will not give you everything. So, anyways, perhaps I'm not supposed to give you. I can choose to give you slides or not. Okay, let's see. I may give you slides. So all these functions should be there, the space bar. So let's look at some functions. Functional keys. Oh, I wanted you to tell me before I give you. You just give me two of the functional keys you know. Functional keys. The keys that start with F and then attach is a number. So F1 to F12. F1 is for what? At least that one is the basics that we should all know. F1. F1. Hello, F1. Hey.
Madam, we need to open a menu.
Oh, no. So F1, usually when you are working on something and then you need help, F1 is help. F2, move text or graphics. F3, F4, F5. So F9. I mean to F12. F12, one of the ones that should even be on your fingertips is like F1 and F12 because you use it often. Save as. Okay, F4 too, you can use it, redo, and all that. All right. I will give them out to you, or you can even go and find them from F1 to F12, what those functions are. I already discussed the modifier keys, right? Before I move on, I would want to ask if there is any question.
Yes, please. Mine is just a concern. The truth is that most of us, for a very long time, even with the we've not sat behind the computer. So most of the things is the archaic ones that we have learned for a very long time. But currently today, per what you have just done, I've appreciated it a lot. I've seen that I've learned something from it.
Okay, that's good.
So that's why sometimes when you ask questions and we are quiet, it's just because it has been a very long time. But we are with you.
Okay, that's fine.
So I quite remember, if I can chip in this, we those days, this RLG training for teachers, we went and then while they were giving us the training, somebody, an elderly woman, they said we should double click. She actually raised her hand and said, "My son, mine, there is no double click." And we all burst into laughter. You see, basically, you will not understand, but these are things that it has been a very long time. And per the work we are doing, you are in the classroom, maybe you haven't had access to computers, maybe based on the subjects you are handling. So it hasn't actually given us room to do some of these things. And as you are saying, sometimes you want to print a document or you want to type a document, normally you give it out.
Yes.
But actually, I have appreciated initially when I saw the tool, I was like, you see where's the heading? But I've actually appreciated it. We've just started, but it's good that we are doing this.
Good.
Thank you
Very
very
soon,
much.
I'm going to bombard you with assignments, and there is pressure. So for Thursday, I just want you to prepare your mind. I remember some group that I met, we even had 8 weeks. So imagine 8 weeks, 8 assignments. Every week you have an assignment to do. You have something doing. Then they were like, "Madam, we beg." I'm saying, but you know the funny thing? At the end of it, they were like, "Madam, we really appreciate what you've done." Because I mean, computer. We thought we knew, but in fact, especially now that they have, you see, that time, that was 2 years ago, that was when they implemented the standard-based curriculum. They brought it, and now myself, I really want to work on the implementation challenges, especially in terms of the digital literacy that they are embedding. Now every teacher should have a laptop. My auntie called me, "Julie, this thing that they have brought, this ICT, they said all our lesson plans should be done on ICT, the laptop strands." I don't know whether you are college teachers. Are you teachers? Most of you, yes.
We are basic school teachers. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not working with GS, so I didn't know what was going on until she drew my attention. And of course, I'm reading, so I know what is going on. Just that the practical aspect of it, because I'm not there to see what is happening. I even want to do a work on it. Then she called me, "Julie, my daughter, come." They said now we should use PowerPoint Lite. I went to visit her, and then I was teaching them PowerPoint. And she said, "Hey, this is what they have been telling us to do." She was sitting there, in fact, listening to the whole teaching. She stopped everything she was doing. An elderly woman sitting there. She said, "Wow, she enjoyed it." Hey, the way I much almost see any yeah, me who change na and watch and simple. So I'm so when you be it's the mindset. She always has the mindset that our time it was just your blessing not to prepare. She's a very good English teacher, and when she speaks, she has the authority of the language. But the IT, this literacy they have embedded is worrying her. They share the links, and she's trying to they were to come the hand. Say, "Mommy, and yeah, deal." I see Gen Z for some more hard. Let me say, "Mommy, this Gen Z situation, the world is moving at that. So you have to what? Adjust yourself." Cry was what's nasty now. When I want to come up in all usika baby, you can do it. So document processing, we are just laying the grounds for you. There are more things that when you get to document 2, then you will see and really appreciate the course. For beginning like this, we are just introducing some of these things to you. Just be conversant with your keys, know where they are, so that when you start the work itself, you would be familiar with them, and then you can just move on. Yeah, I always say that this online teaching is not so, it is good, but the regular student practical, you don't write. Everything is typing. So assuming this time around, I think when we come to producing of document for document 1, I think we'll come back for document 2. Document 1, it will be on all letters. So assuming your exams is preparing an inquiry letter, preparing you have about 8 letters to write. I'll teach you how to write these things. And you have 3 of them prepare, you are not writing. That you sit down and think, what are the things that you should go on? As soon as you are, it's like whilst you are writing, you are just typing. You type, and then when you don't save, that is why right from onstart, we teach you the shortcut keys for saving, Control S. So that even if you forget to save and they say stop work, you just press your Control S because you have already saved with your index number. But for your current thing you did finally, so that it saved the final thing you do, you just press Control S. Because remember, the first saving is what? Save as. Save as is saving for the first time. Then subsequent is just Control S, that's a save. So you have saved it with your index number already using the save as. And they say stop work. You just press your Control S. Yeah, friend, I want to share. Press that will soon require you not even see the save button on your keyboard, I tell you. So remember your control keys. Oh, right from the beginning of the lecture, we learned the control keys. When they said stop work, because when they say stop work and you don't save, automatically the system shuts down. So whatever you've done, if you don't save, you are getting 0. And we had issues. Christmas like this, I will be called, Madam, some students did not save their work. So eventually you have to give them 0 rewrites. What I see, Christmas, you call, you not finish. I tell you, you come and do it. Other than that, if you want an IC, you have to wait the following semester before you register the course. So there were issues. So you have to learn these things. So right from the onset, I let you understand this is the nature of the course. Learn these things. Let it be on your fingertips. So that in terms of assessment, because for regular students, everything is practical. So you have to write probably second semester, you are going to write an application letter, a CV, probably write some minutes. You go for meetings, you are going to write minutes. Everything you show you the proceedings, everything. Then you type everything. You may know, people know because they have learned, but you have to type. We are not taking pen and paper. And you have not mastered your key. You are now looking for P and Q during examination period. The pressure alone will make you freeze. So that is why I encourage you that try and get the Mavis Beacon. It has helped me myself. Maybe luckily my mom was a secretary by profession, so she comes home with a lot of work. Sometimes galamsey. Those days it was difficult for students to even own a computer by themselves. It was only the rich people who could afford computers. So they usually take their project work thesis to them. And she was doing it. So she'll take the project work and thesis, she'll bring it, and a mother having a lot of kids to take care of, going to the kitchen, the computer will be on, the work will be on, or better pick a car, now I call you the kaka. Then when I come, I just see the written draft of the person's work beside the computer at home. And I was pinpointing, type here, Q, Wahin, R, Wahin, S, Wahin. She came and she said, oh, thank you for at least trying. And to baby, what's not him say, oh, wait, more type one line pay. Hey, you're very Then she introduced me to what Mavis Beacon. Then, like play, as we say it, I felt I was playing games with it because it has a game section. Now, when I realized I had mastered speed, and not just mastering speed, but typing accurately without looking on the keys. So I had built that already. Then I came to level 200 and we were having document processing, a course that we do in a semester, and at the end of the day, we are writing an exams. We don't say we are even writing an exam for document processing, we are typing an exams. Seated at the computer lab with their machines. When they say stop work, the machine shuts down automatically. You have to save your work. So you can imagine the pressure. Then I appreciate my mom so much that for giving me that basis. That was in primary. even though it had not been used for a time, because of course secondary school. But when I came, refreshing something you have used it for a while throughout your primary school, you realize that going back to that memory was easy to get. I did my pen. Miss One, hey, no me didn't work, but no me type you. Hey, I know hey, really. Then the memories come back. Then why wouldn't I get an A? I had a straight A because time, it's about speed and accuracy. Speed and accuracy, speed and accuracy. But for you, you are lucky that you may have more time because of the nature of the work. It is online. And I also learned that your assessment would even be written, hoping that you would have had that practical feel so that when you get to the business world, you can do the practicals there. But aside that, try and also imbibe in it. Do you understand? Yes, imbibe in it. So that when you are out there, when you are with the machine, you have an authority over it. You'll not be like, hey, people are watching me, I don't want to fuck up. You should be confident in yourself when you are using the machine. Okay. So that is just by the way. I'm glad you appreciate the course. These are some examples of the shortcut keys. When you want to select all, you press Control and the A button. So usually what I do is, I don't want us to move to Unit 2 because that is opening a Microsoft Word and we are going to discuss the functions of Microsoft Word. However, even though we are yet to go to Unit 2, let's see if we can have a document that is not really needed. Even if it's needed, what we can do is let's replicate that document so that we work with the old document while the original document is there. Do you understand? Then we can be manipulating some of these things. For example, if you have an old assignment from the cohort 2 or cohort, one of the ones you have assignment that you have already submitted, you can pick that document and then let's modify them using the shortcut keys. Let's do this short exercise. I want us to finish this Unit 1 by 9 o'clock. I'll give you like 10 to 15 minutes break to refresh and come back so that we can have the Unit 2. Okay. Oh, yes. Hello. You understand what I just said?
Yes, please, we do.
Yes. So in other words, I mean, if you have an old assignment that you have submitted, just pick that document because I don't want you to now type a new document. We are yet to move into that. So let's pick an old document and then try our hands on some of these functions. I'll let you do something. So if you have opened the document and assuming the document is in paragraphs, I want you to select the first paragraph. How do you select it? By highlighting the first paragraph. If you are using your cursor, you may put it at the first letter of it, and then you drag it to the end of that particular paragraph. If it is not a paragraph and the assignment is such that it is just one line, the answers are just one line, just select it. I just want to see if you can select something. When you select that paragraph, what will you do? You would press, after selecting it, you realize that it will be highlighted with the blue, right? Blue, that is the color you see when it's highlighted. As soon as it's highlighted, you press Control C. So you copy it and then take that text or the paragraph or object, whatever it is there in your assignment, and move on to the last paragraph on the same document. If you like, open another document and go and put it there and just release it there, put the cursor there, and then use the keyboard. Click on Control. How do you paste? What is the shortcut key for paste? Paste. To paste a document.
Control plus.
Control, Control plus P.
Control plus V. Control V.
V. Okay. P is for what? P. The control P. P is for what?
Print.
Print. Control P is for print. But to paste is control V. And I always love to bring shortcut keys that has first letter so that it will confuse you. For example, I can ask you of control. I can ask you of center. How do you center an object using shortcut key? And because center starts with C, you may say control C. Meanwhile, control C is actually for what? Copy. And control E is to center a text. You understand? Mark, mute your microphone. Okay. So control E, center a text. You get it? So C is what? Copy. The same way I love to set question that I would write. I'll ask you control V, which is actually paste. And people may think because paste starts with the letter P, so control P would be the paste. However, print rather is what? Control P. We have a lot of them. So you have to learn them right from control A to Z. We have them. Okay. So like the example I gave you, I said you should what? That is control C and control V. We have done that. Go back to the original text and just press control A. What does it do? You realize that the entire text is selected, right? That means control A means select all text. Select all text. Please, don't just listen. Oh, I've asked you to open a document, an old assignment, or something that is not needed. If you can't find one and there is one important document there, just duplicate the document and then let us have this practicals on it while keeping the original document. Don't go and tell me that, hey, Madam Mary, just use our document and now I can't get the original document. Duplicate the document. You know how to duplicate. You can copy, as I said, select all text from the original document, open a new document. When you are opening a new document, what shortcut will you use? Opening a new document, new is what? Control plus N. That is the new document. New is what? Open a new document, control plus N. So they are there. So for example, I ask you control plus R. Then you think control plus R is replace. Meanwhile, control plus R is actually what? Arranging text to the right. So that is align right. And all of these control function has it on the Microsoft Word. When you open it, you know where you can find, okay, we are going into Unit 2 right now, where we look at the functions of the MS Word itself, or the tabs, what it is used for, so that when you are to center your text, instead of you using the control E, you can as well center it from a button on your Microsoft Word. It is up there, located up there. The paragraph settings are there. Putting it with whether you want to use double spacing, that the line spacing options, they are all there. Single line, double line, They are all there. Indented paragraphs, they are all there. Hanging paragraphs, they are all there. So let's try and work something small. So with your documents, please, as I told you from the beginning of the lecture, I have 2 minutes, 4 minutes more to end this unit 1. Then we come back for unit 2. I said when you are able to do a task, take a screenshot just to encourage your other colleagues. Put it on the WhatsApp platform. I don't know whether you are yet to add me to your platform. Add me to it. Put me there so that I can actually see the work you have done. If it is possible that you would, is it possible to take a snapshot and send it on the Google Meet? Or you can, okay, I think the sharing button is for only me, or anybody can share. I think the sharing button is for the presenter alone. So sorry about that. That is why I'm saying you can take a snapshot of your work and then put it, let me share this. You can take a snapshot of your work and put it on the WhatsApp page. If you've been able to highlight everything, Control A, you get it? Then you can see that, okay, you've been able to highlight it. So I can as well say, select a particular text inside your work. Let's say the heading. If the heading is aligned to the left, like it's starting from the left margin, I can say select the first heading, I mean the heading itself, and center the heading. When I say center the heading, what is the shortcut key that you use? After selecting the heading by what? Highlighting the heading. You know how to highlight it. When you're highlighting it, it means you have selected it. So after highlighting it for it to show blue, then you perform the function on it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So assuming you have a document and the heading is aligned to the left. I said, okay, me am per document bin I share what I said. Then I would let me see if I have an old document here. Okay. In fact, I'm going to share those multiple choice functions with you. I'm going to work on it as your work. So let me just. I've shared some multiple choice questions. The functional keys, you are going to work on it as your assignment. Yeah, every week you have an assignment to do. So today, so you have 4 assignments. Every day you have work to do. You have something doing. So just prepare for it. And you are going to send the responses through my mail. The last group I had issue with, I don't know, people were fine struggling sending it through the mail, but it's I want you to learn it. I don't want you to go the usual way that you are comfortable with, because at the outside world, you would be using a lot of mail. So this time around, I will still insist you send it through my mail. People were struggling and they want to send it on my WhatsApp because they felt it was convenient for them. But you have to learn to use mails. So this time I will not pardon you. If you are struggling using a mail, you learn. We are all learning. Do you understand? So this is multiple choice questions. You can see that it has been aligned to the left, right? That means that the heading itself is beginning from the left margin. And saying that do this little practices using the shortcut keys. And because it's aligned to the left like this, what you are going to do is, I'm going to highlight the whole thing. The whole heading is the heading I want to use the functional key or not the work, because the work is also aligned to the left. So what happens here is, how do I highlight it? You see where the mouse is blinking, or the cursor is blinking. I'm going to highlight it by dragging it to S, so that I can highlight the whole text and perform the function on it. And I'm asking you, in performing this function, I want to center this text. Which shortcut key will I use?
Control plus E.
Good, good. That means you are all listening. I'm impressed. Very good. So do it. Just highlight whatever document you have there. You should do it. So I'm also going to do mine. So I press Control what? E. Oh, I'm using Chromebook. Chromebook has a different distance. Look at what it has done. Okay, so I can't use the shortcut keys on my Chromebook. Rather, I'll have to use. So you, with your usual laptop, you can as well use it. You can just press the Control E and you have it. But the Chromebook is not a laptop. It's actually a smart device that functions like a laptop, but it is not. So for here, I have to use the end center that I can locate it here. This is center. Have you seen it? That is what we'll be learning very soon in our next unit. You are just going for a break and you come back and look at the Microsoft Word features itself, because you are going to do a lot with Word for document 1. Document 2, next semester when we meet, we will add other features like PowerPoint and Excel. We are going to do Excel and PowerPoint as well, but for now, we are looking at word processing itself and the features of word processing and how to prepare documents using one particular feature, which is what the MS Word. Working on MS Word, that will be our focus for this semester. So you realize that even though I'm using a Chromebook, I've been able to center my topic, right? I've centered it using the Word document features. Here, we have it at this portion, and I think I'm sharing it. With the usual laptop, you can use the control keys here. Because it's a Chromebook, Chromebook is Google Drive based. So whatever I'm doing, I'm working using Google Drive, and it has some limitations. Some of the shortcut keys means something else. So remember when I pressed the Control E, it actually took me to the search button. That is why I don't love Chromebook. I'm not able to teach well with it because some functions cannot be performed, but I'll still manage and then teach as if you actually have a laptop with you, because the laptop, you just press the Control E and you have that function. But I've been able to perform the same function, but not with my control keys, but with what? My word processing feature. This means what? Center. That means center. Okay, so let's stop sharing this and share something else. So any question? Oh. Any question? So that is the practical session we just had. We are going for the break. It's past 9. We'll be back around 9:20. I'm giving you 15 minutes. Before that, if you have any question, Let's talk about it.
Yes. It's not mine. I have a concern here.
Okay.
I'm not home. I just set off. I traveled yesterday, and in doing this, I don't have any laptop with me. So that's just my challenge. It's just the phone I'm using. But
So
hopefully
the whole
within the
of the
next
course,
week,
do you mean you are not going to get a laptop? You can borrow a
I
laptop
will.
and then.
I've even come, so I will buy one. My daughter,
Oh,
she has it, but I'll have to get one because by January they'll be going back to school. Legon.
okay.
So I'll get one.
To
You know,
use it.
earlier on
Okay.
they should have informed us. I had no idea that we will even be doing with it. I just knew it's just some oral thing. That means say practical, sir. So that means I'll
Oh,
have to just close my eyes and get a laptop.
yes, it's practical course. It's a
Yes.
practical course. Even though you are writing it like that's the assignment or the quiz is written on your part, but the nature of the course should be practical. So as much as I'm teaching it online, I still want you to have that practical feel. Do you understand? I can just come here and just say control arrange text to the right, control S save, control U underline, control Q. Let's just say, and don't just say I am intelligent. Real intelligence is about what? Application of knowledge. So if
That's
control
very
R,
true.
if control R is arrange, and then make her arrange. I know arrange text to the right. Then it means that whenever you are typing, for example, okay, I say what two letters are primary school. Yes, say senders address or him for. Sure, right. Those days, make her those days now, you pay that style of typing letters, senders address, and all right. Have you realized that the texts were arranged to the right? And then when extra letters they don't use that traditional format. They use everything block and to senders address is on the left. And until na Gen Z in Kola say ebinom make her arrange text to the right. I say those days, your sender's address used to be at the right. You ask yourself, how do we type the letters to the right? It's not that you go and put the cursor there and be typing. No. You can do that. It's another way of typing. But sometimes you type everything to the left and you select the text and push it to the right. How do you select the text and push it to the right? You select the text like the usual way that you select text. And using your shortcut keys, you click on what? Control R. And that's when you practice in objective text questions. Which function arranges text to the right? A, Control U. B, Control V. C, Control R. D, Control S. And note there, because right starts with the letter R, Obeka say what? A Control R. The same question, I'll not bring control. I will not ask you for control right, aligning text to the right, and I'll not ask you aligning text to the right. I will intentionally say what? There's another R, replace. Until replace also started with R, me boy. Me could be right, aligning text to the right. No one can say R starts with R, so it's control R. Make sure that I'm a question. Replacing a text. How do you do it? No, I say control R. No way we say we Diego. It is rather what control plus H. Why? Because okay, replacing text. If it's control plus H, let us get a document. Let's see how we can replace that text, and then let's perform the function control H. A far now for our dream. Do you understand? So that is how the practicals will be. The practicals wouldn't be of course, I want to monitor, but when I said you should even take a snapshot and put it on the WhatsApp page, today I will pardon you because I'm not even on your WhatsApp page, so I don't know what you've done. But in our next meeting, I want to be on there. We should have separate page, document processing page, because it's a practical course. So whatever you do in your closet, if you are with us, I will tell you, do this. Then take a snapshot, put it on your page. Then I'll see that out of 20 or 18 students, only 10 people have put it on the page. Then I'll call out their names and ask of their index numbers. Then if I am to give 10 marks for what? Practical, those who participate, 10 marks free. Until was 70, 70 a B. 70 is not even B plus, so 70 is B. And you are participating and you have 10 marks already in your assessment. It's just a whole assessment, no, it's not over 40, it's over 30. And you are getting 70. Are you not moving straight to A? So assessment, yes, partake, encourage yourself, be engaging, be asking questions. Let us see you. Oh, this person talks, this person engages. When we put assignment there, the person does it. The practical thing, just do it. Do it not for grades, but to acquire the skill, the digital literacy skill that we want our students to have. When you go out there in your teaching roles, hey, madam, oh, but not the laptop by a share. Yes, a video grower. Oh, chum, so what could you see? Do you get it? What could you see in your class? And for book, never manuals, no. Per projector. Why a slides? Slides and yeah, word slide too. You okay, document too. You bet you on PowerPoint. You speak to the slides and yeah, word notes. Then you bring charts, visuals in the classroom. Then course is channel management. That involves a lot of visuals. If I say marketing, maybe marketing our slides, there is no visuals. Let's see the packaging aspects of marketing. Let's see the branding. Pictures. They would enjoy your teaching. Do you get it? I say, hey, madam, wait the new telco. Hey, and I say, over class, a laptop. Opa, no, project it. No, the visual see. No, we're connecting your manual now. Connecting. Yeah, for no care chew and pull. Do you understand? That is the meaning of what you are doing. That is why we are bringing you. We are all learning. We are all learning. So please don't feel shy in our class. Don't feel shy when you say, please, where do I double click? Don't feel shy by asking such questions. You are all here to learn. That is funny anyway. We taught you right click, left click, double click, drag and drop, and all that. These are the functions of what? Mouse, selecting functions. And then your control keys. Let it be on your fingertips. This one has to do with a bit of memorization, but the memorization, I bet you would forget. However, when you practice it, like control kill, restore text to its original position. You initially center the text. And then you want to restore it to being the text being aligned to the left. And to where what selected text, now I press Control Q, restoring it to its original position. Where was it? Maybe I will go to no one fin, and I'm cut and paste no. Who go to no one fin, I would share last paragraph. It functions like the undo thing, but maybe near the one that was done recently. So restoring it to its original position, Control Q, then you do it. You are working on a document. You want to put some of the new documents, what you are working on, in a new document. Yeah, go to new. Control O. It opens a fresh document for you. Can go and do whatever you want to do there. You get it? So you don't just memorize Control O, open. Control A, control test, Control P, print. Control O, open. Do it, do it, do it. And then you would understand it better. The memorization helps 1%. 99% is what? Practicals. All the best. Go for your. So say just let me extend it to 9:30. 9:30 or 9:35. Let me make it 20-minute break. 9:35. Please, no lateness. 9:35, you would come and then you start with chapter 2 and unit 2. Is there any other question? On unit 1, we have closed unit 1. The last thing that you were supposed to talk about is just peripheral devices. And I believe you know peripheral devices. They are any external device. That's what aids or enhances the use of the computer. So for example, ideally, when you talk about computer, be a dream monitoring new keyboard. So you know that you are working on your computer, your monitor and your keyboard is the focus or in the system unit, because that is what makes up your processing, bringing out the information and everything. That is the ideal computer. You call computer. If you have a laptop, that is your computer. If you have a monitor, your keyboard and your system unit, it makes up the computer. However, you realize that there are some external devices that also enhances it. For example, printers. What type area you want to print it out is a peripheral device. Projectors. I made mention of projecting. Now, what prepare power slides? Fine. Who could share marketing? What prepare power slides? What the images, visuals, and your kama. Okay, I want for laptop in culture. Students come to the table one by one. Row 1, come and watch. Row 2, we are wasting time. Get a projector and project it. On the wall. You close the louver so that the place will be dark, so that the projection can come out clearly for them to see. You get scanners, you get speakers, and then there be entertainment, speakers, microphones, pen drive. They are all what peripheral devices. That is why I didn't talk more on it. We just wanted to know what they are, so that when you are being asked, which of the following is not an example of a peripheral devices, and then there is monitor there. The monitor is actually the device you are using. It's not an external thing outside the computer. It is the computer itself. Do you get it? So any external thing that is connected, the word is about what? Connection. Anything connected to the computer is what? A peripheral device. So that is the last thing we talk on peripheral device. And this is just the summary. I said you'll be given multiple set of questions. So add me to the group page so that I can forward the multiple set for you. Just try your hands on them so that you have a feel of how your test will look like. You get it? Yes, try your hands on them. And as well, I'll give you the slides. Every time I send slides to you, please, whether I say it is your assignment or not, make sure that the self-assessment section of the slides I send to you, you work on it. The fact that I may not mark all of the test assessment section and I may give you an external assignment doesn't mean that focus on the assignment I give to you and leave the self-assessment test. It's a self-assessment. That means you yourself should assess yourself on what I've studied today. Will I be able to explain the functions of the computer? Will I be able to explain the navigation keys? In case I'm quizzed on interpreting these shortcut keys, can I do it? You realize the shortcut keys was only Control A, Control B, Control C, but look at the self-assessment I brought here. So this will come in the exams and we say, hey, now control keys I had in mind, then you control A, B, C to Z and one. I didn't see shift and F3. They are also control keys. You understand? So my emphasis is don't limit yourself to whatever you teach here. It is expected, like the constructivists, they learn from learning experience, generate your own knowledge, learn outside the box. Go and discovery method. Go and discover everything that I may not have included in today's lecture. For example, shortcut keys. I only showed you the ones with control plus just the alphabet, but there's more to it that uses some of the modifier keys, like 3, control plus alt plus del. Function at the amount. Then you appreciate that, hey, so control keys and one thing. Even a whole quiz can even be on control keys alone. So you need to familiarize yourself with all of these things. Do you understand? Okay. So see how you break me there, just say my up to 9:40 because time echo. And I want us to settle the unit 1 because when I come from unit 2, we are not going back to what unit 1 again. Is it okay?
Yes, please. It's okay.
For now, it's okay. How do you
Yes.
see that? How do you see unit 1 alone? How do you see it? Comprehensive?
Very accommodating.
Okay, you are getting it right. It is not too difficult. You will build up small. I know most of you are taken aback because of the control keys and I say, yeah, baby, but you pick it up, okay?
Assignment, no plan yesterday.
Then assignment, yeah. I don't that is why I am joy. My joy is different from all the joys around. You have to be happy with the assignments. Do you get it? Assignment, every day, every week, you have work to do. So, every week assignment, practical. Now, practical, share face to face. How will I know that you are actually imbibing all that you have taught? Obi or baba lecture, we are not on a juma. Uncle read the over or chair last day, no about your exams, no about your boom now. Yes, I doesn't speak well of the lecturer. You are teachers yourself. What is the joy in teaching? The joy in teaching is all your students are performing. Wow, they understood it. So whenever you perform assessment and you have done well, we are more happier than you, the students. Some people think that lecturers find it joy, like when students are failing, but it's a big lie. No lecturer wants to see the students failing. Hey, lecturer, they need some more do and the course do more be a maybe course. Also be a. What do you mean? Say or more be a. What I want you to the nature of the course may be difficult, but you need to get it. That is for some lectures. But many course it's easy to get an A. If you deserve the A, you will get it. Me, I'm not the type that when you're 20. Last time students had 2020, and my boss was like, hey, now student when you're 2020, 2020, we don't give 2020. Let me see, madam, she may work on. This person, yeah, can say Lester. Now while let's say explain who better 1 mark for what? The person has even done more than you requested. If you say list 2 or list 3, now while let's say explain you crime examples. Let's say the mark is 2. Can you give the person 1? And say 20 or 20, you get it. He said, hey, and now when you're 2020, I said, look at the script. The script, I will not dash people marks. I give them what they deserve. So look at it. The person is outstanding is well. Why, yeah, then we should have to give it to her. It doesn't mean that if their students are performing, I will cause full. And yeah, full. Students need a way and then a way try again. So give her the marks. So me, I don't buy the idea of making things so difficult for students and they'll be failing. No. But the fact is, you should earn what you have done. It will not be on a silver platter. I said that when you have 10 over 20, then I'm saying I'm dashing you 5 free. If I'm giving you 5 free, it will be based on your active participation in class. I mean, if I'm rewarding anything extra what you have been given, you should give me an evidence to show that you deserve it. If there is no time, no other things in team, one shut down here, me call activeness, assignments, What assignment? Why are there? Okay, yeah, back class. How do you participate? How do you interact? Oh, the person is good. Then probably something happened during the examination. So if we can just add 5 marks to her grade so that she doesn't feel or have a better grade, see the and the 5 come and we'll be C plus. C plus, okay, what performance in class? So outstanding. So why C plus? C, the money B plus. You get it? Your money B. That means you have worked for it in an indirect way. Oh. That one is there. But say one year class, baby. Over so at 10 minutes, I ever put a what drop in. Assignments, I won't be. And 0 ubenya. Do you get it? So if you understand it this way, let's just appreciate, do your assignments. In case examination doesn't go on too well, then you have something to prove that you were a good student. So if you need a little push, let me push you there. And I think that is fair.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye for now.
But with regards to time no, like Sundays, first lecture no. Can we adjust it?
Say 7 o'clock no.
In the morning. Sundays.
Code for and she say you and so.
Yes, but yet me adjust here, we always draw their attention. So the other one say no, not Sunday lecture no. I think say na no first lecture no 7 no. Yeah, they call was it? Can somebody help me out? It seems we used to do it at 5
5 a.m.
No, in the evening.
Yes, 5 p.m.
Because
on
of
Sundays. Yes.
PM, because of authority, Bebre agitated for it, and then we did an internal arrangement, and then we drew their attention to.
So you mean after 5 you don't have a lecture day?
No.
We have our lectures will end at 4.
Yes, please, we don't have a lecture after 5 p.m. on Sunday.
Even particular lecture, no cry shifty for Monday evening. Or shifty later on, or shifty for 6.
Yeah, Monday evenings.
Let's do the
Yes. So open to
6 o'clock.
yeah.
At least 9. I think 6 to 9.
So that we have it like 6 to 9.
In the evening.
In the evening, yes, please.
I'm also 5 to 8, no.
Please, it's based on schedule.
Okay.
So if you
And
check your
forward,
Who never schedule say
The Mondays is okay. The Mondays evening will be better.
Monday lecture, no pressure.
Monday, dear Dabby. Mobile school, I'm moving a mama coin.
But normally in the evening, your buffy in the evening. Best 6, no be a ne juma. They are started best 6 to 9. So if not even Monday, let's have it on a Tuesday.
But okay,
I suggest you let it,
that is if it will be okay for you.
Well, let's see. This Christmas breaky day, I'm going to meet my family people soon.
Okay.
Exactly.
I don't know how things will turn out in the evening if I'll get time next week. I'll be going this Tuesday, but in fact, this week we've had our lecture, so this Tuesday will not be a problem. But next week, then let's see if I'll be home.
Then we plan how to do it.
We plan to do it. Don't worry. If it's going to
so
worry,
we'll put you on the platform, and then if there's anything,
communicate the time to me. I'll be free. So anytime that you're okay, you can just communicate to me. Then I'll check my schedules. If I'll be available, then.
Okay. Yeah, that's a part.
Yo, so then I'm okay.
please, when are you
Where we know? I can't. Mobile 9:40.
That's fine. That's fine.
9:40. So copy cocoa beer no makope no na oba ya be point 11. Okay, bye.
All right.
Hello, good morning. Please, can you all hear me? Hello, good morning. Please, can you all hear me?
We can hear you, but we don't know what is going on.
Yes, that's why I was asking. Has the
Okay.
class?
Sorry?
I was asking you if the class has ended.
No. We haven't ended at all. She gave us a little break.
Oh, okay. Please, which class is this?
Document processing.
Document. Okay, so she gave you a break. Okay, I understand.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
You see, I've extended the break.
Yes, you have done well.
We will not waste time at all. Get ready. I believe there is no questions from the previous one, from the first unit. Hey, no question here. Introduction to MS Word. Microsoft Word. What is it? Before we, I have to talk about position yourself to avoid typing related injuries. Okay, first and foremost, in fact, usually, as I said, for the regular student, that is what we do at the first day of lecture. Before I even let you start with this introduction to computing, keyboarding, and other things. The first thing is to talk about your typing position. And in typing, your typing position should be what? Sitting upright. I know most of you, because the lecture started at 7, you are still lying on your beds. If we are to show the video right now, we are going to see things that we don't want to see. Please, all those on the bed are lay party. That is a poor sitting posture. So the first day of lecture, what we teach is what? It's not what we teach. It is an activity we do. We talk about the typing position. And here we mean you have to sit upright, don't lean. Your hands should lie freely on your desk when you are not typing. And your legs should be 90 degrees. Go back to mathematics. Yes, document maths warm. Mathematic position, 90 degrees position. That means, well, don't lean your legs, don't stretch it. Let it be at the 90 degrees posture. Your ankle, your knees, and your feet should be lying flat on the floor, because there are objective questions like that. Your knees, your feet should be lying flat on the floor. Some of you are having very long chairs and tables, and excuse me, they are too tall that their legs hang in the air. That's when you have such table and chair, you have to adjust it such that your legs can really stay flat on the floor. You shouldn't be hanging. I believe you understood what I meant.
Yeah.
That means the person in question is actually like who? Adwa smart. But it's having a table or chair that is way too high for him or her. So please, let's adjust our tables and chairs if we can, or if we cannot adjust the table and chair, let's adjust our body to be taller, which is of course not an option. which is not an option. But the idea is what? Let your feet stay flat, and then you have that 90 degrees. Your wrist should be lying freely on the table, or if you are not working, you can just lie. If you have a swivel chair that you can lie, put your hands on the arms of the chair, fine. You should be in a comfortable posture. And we say that it should the eye level. Some of you have tables that is far, and then it's like you are lifting your chin up so high that you struggle to even see. Ideally, it should be eye level, slightly lower than eye level, or slightly higher, not too much. So those ones two are there. It shouldn't be that you have a very short chair, and your table is very tall, or I should use long, whichever the English professors. Then you are struggling. So all of these postures, why do you think we are supposed to emphasize or even talk about the posture in class? What do you think? So therefore the question is, without taking caution, what does it lead to? So this is a short exercise, and I'm expecting you to tell me something. Ideally, why am I even talking about posture? Why do you think it's necessary for us to talk about it before we start word processing? That is the first thing to talk about, because you have to be at a sitting position that is flexible. Why do you think it's supposed to be that way?
So that you don't have any deformities or backaches.
Good. Very good. So ideally, have you realized that a lot of people, you say, "Well, they won't go baby, what if I couldn't wait every day?" So you are complaining of backaches. What is the reason? And what do you think are better things that can be done to avoid that? As like those administrative work, accountants, and other work that involves more of certain receptionists and all those kind of office job, in quotes, works. Managing a company, you're always glued to your chair, you're always with the laptop, and you always come back with backache. What do you think can be done? You are complaining that me growing up while I was a student, I was able to see clearly. Now, if I'm not with my lens, I can't even read. Why? Because you have been glued to your office machine for a very long time. And for you know, the brightness. If you come here and you see what I am doing here, you say, hey, I've adjusted the brightness. Open the air, say the quiet day. Showbiz. I mean, so bright. You need to adjust the brightness, because if your eye is your priority, I always pray. I don't like wearing spectacles. If I'm wearing then shades in the sunlight, I know the life room. Then yet space I had reading na me the life. Me life and shades. So I'm taking care of my health, my eyes. The phone's brightness. Some of us take too much, like long on the phone. And no point how, but the brightness. I'll put it on dark mode. I don't know if somebody you want to look inside the sun or perceive brightness, it says sun before the person sees that yes, he's using a device. Please, let's be careful with all of these things. So I was asking, what can be done? Oh, there are some stuff. Yeah, we test you objective or subjective. You can be asked what in 3 words, state 3 ways by which you can avoid typing related injuries, and a question like that is there. So what are some of the things that can be done? When we discuss it, you no need to go and read. It sticks immediately. You understand? So in your posture, you can talk about the posture. You can also talk about what? Taking frequent breaks. Say, I can say, now if it's an put no laptop, taking frequent breaks can be taking your eyes off the machine. Look at the environment. Like I said, we'll see her there for exams in 8 hours. Now what's a laptop no blink. When you be prove yourself, it is causing that race. So from time to time, ideally, when you stay group, at least 15 minutes be I won't so require. Take your eyes off the machine. Look somewhere. Look at a friend that is eyeing you somewhere. Laugh about the funny thing somewhere. Come back to your laptop. Take your eyes off it. You can get up, walk 5 minutes, come back, go for a walk, stretch your arms, stretch it. All of these things are ways that you can what avoid time-related injuries. And if when it comes to the wrist, because of frequent typing, your wrist, so the position, if it is not put well on the surface of the table and it's hanging, like some of us you do, the laptop, instead of it to push a bit far out from the computer so that at least your ribs itself can lie small on it will be close. I mean, the laptop, the space would even be bigger than the table. So you realize that half of your hands are not your wrist, half of the hand itself, like where the fingers are not, only the fingers are there. Then the remaining half is hanging. What happens? Typing related injury. We call it carpal tunnel syndrome. Carpal tunnel syndrome. And there are lots. Some of them, they will come in your objective tests, and then you will say, hey, where should I add science or heart? Now, carpal tunnel syndrome or Microsoft Word document exams. So we have some type related injuries that you can talk about. And then you see all of these things in there. So the best way is to ensure the feet is flat on the floor, the eye level, your wrist is lying there on it in the proper way. Your back is relaxed, shoulder level. I mean, relax your shoulder, relax your shoulder. If you have a particular chair that your legs are hanging, make sure you adjust it. Sit upright, don't lean, don't be like somebody I can't even mention, and then just ensure you are safe. And all these things, there are reasons or ways through which you can avoid these type related injuries. So we are done with that. Then to the Microsoft Word itself. To start, we need to, before you even open your Word document, your computer is off. You want to start your computer, isn't it? So in starting your computer, if it is the usual system unit and desktop, what do you do? Those days, primary school, how do you on the computer? The process of owning the computer is referred to as what? That is how we used to set questions, primary school, isn't it?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So it's referred to as what?
Booting. Anna.
Booting.
Okay. So how do we boot the computer? We just strike it with our leg.
Madam, you connect the plug in the switch on maybe on the wall or on the extension board. After that, you press on the power button on the computer.
Okay. What about the 60 minutes? You on that one too, right? Okay. Most of
Yes,
us,
madam.
we are not used to the 60 minutes desktop stuff. We just have our laptop. We just press the power button of the laptop and we are good to go. So simple, right? Some of us with Chromebook does not even have power button. As soon as you open it there, it ons. But you have the power button where you can shut it down or restart or do everything. But when you shut it off and you want to open it, there is no power button. When you open the Chromebook, it just comes on automatically. And then you can boot him. So ideally, booting refers to what? Putting on the computer or putting it into use. You want to use it, so you have to on it. Then you want to visit your word microprocessor. You want to visit your Microsoft Word application. There are so many ways of opening Word application. Some of you, by default, you have made it an icon on your desktop because you frequently use it. And so I know could be an icon is a word processor number. In other jurisdictions, ideally know what are the procedures in opening a Word application. You go to start button, right? So from the start button, hello, when I mention some of these things, are you lost?
We are with you.
Start button, where is it located?
Madam, please, it's at the left side, the end
Yes,
part.
On the
left button side. That is the good. What do you see? Uben who shut down, restart. At the same time, you can see some of the applications there. Those of you who don't see it, you have to type them. Sometimes you will not use the start button, you just have the search button. So you type. Who started the word WR now about word? Sometimes you have to start typing from Microsoft Word. So whichever means you should be able to locate the Word application, and that is the basis. So going to the start button, typing Word document, whichever version you are using is accepted. The most important is it can allow you to perform certain tasks and functions. Then, as soon as you open the Word application, you should know your screen elements. So that when I say today's lesson, we are going to talk about charts. Okay, everybody open your Word application, go to your insert button. Don't come and ask, Madam, where is the insert button? Hey, I can't see insert on my Word. No, it is there. Assume you've located the insert button. I say click on charts. Don't ask me. Click on pie charts. Don't ask me. Click on bar graph. Okay, we are going to insert pictures. We are going to insert tables. We are going to do this, go do that. You should know the elements of the word processing. Do you understand? So, therefore, we have discussed this. Part of a desktop. Okay, I think I skipped this. Of course, whenever you boot your computer, you are going to find what? Icons, files, and folders, isn't it? By default, you may have some, I think I said this in the first thing, right? Where I made mention of some icons, Firefox, Mozilla, and all that. Okay, my document. Then file, what is a file? It's a document in a digital form that is used to store what? Information on the computer's memory or external device. So you can name your file. For example, your first document, you open a blank document and then you type document processing 1, assignment 1. By default, if you want to save it, what comes? When was the document processing, Ankasa will type in the first. And now I share as the file name. So if you want to change it, you change it there. If you want to maintain the document processing 1, you maintain it as the file name. You understand? So assuming I will tell you, okay, we will learn how to open a folder. Let's do that quickly. In fact, that should be the first. Yes, it's our first lecture, so it's good. I'm not late. We are going to open folders on our desktop, and you will name the folder document processing 1. Please take notes. I'll take you to how to open the folder, but listen to the instructions first. So what did I say? You are going to open a folder, name it document processing 1. That's a folder, and we will put all the files relating to document processing 1 inside that document processing 1 folder. What does it mean? If I give you slides for document processing, go and put it there in your folder. If I give you assignments, go and put it there. If I give you practical tests, like practice tests, like in the course of the teaching, let's all do this at our various and call it drills. We call it drills or practice sessions. All of these tests may not be marked per se because they are just practical that you should what? Acquaint yourself with. Go and put it in the document folder that I'll ask you to open. What this means is, assuming you are right, you are also doing a course, human resource management. Don't go and put the human resource management assignment in document processing 1. Why? For easy retrieval. So as soon as I say, okay, I've given you a list of assignments to do, but I am taking assignment 2. Assignment 2 says you should prepare an inquiry letter. You have done a lot of assignments. Just go and look for the inquiry letter assignment and present it in my mail. So if you say that, madam, you give me assignment and all that, and then you have not marked the assignment, I can say, keep the assignment in your folders. I would request from it from you. Do it. I would request from it from you. So put it in like the one I'm giving you, the objective test. Do it. Put it in the folder. At the end of the slide, there is practice session. Do it. Put it in your folder. I will just get up and ask you, when I talk about the assignments and probability, your number is difficult to retrieve it. I will tell you the exact assignment I'm looking for. If it is the assignment on inquiry letters, present it. You may have done a list of them, a number of them. You go and take the one from inquiry letters and put it in my mail. Then I mark that one. So what this means is, apart from us learning the part of the desktop, which one I mentioned icons, you discussed file, which is a digital form of documents. These files are supposed to be placed in folders. And these folders, we can say that it is also a structure containing what? Electronic files. It looks like an envelope. Anything that will be in it is looking like yellow. What is in an envelope? Envelope. So see the folder as your envelope or your wallet, and see the files as your 100 cedis notes, 200 cedis notes, and the rest, 10 cedis notes, and even 1 cedi note that you put inside your wallet. So when you pick, if you're a lady, pick your purse and see your purse as a folder, and all the denominations of the currency, see them as what? Files. They are different. 1 cedi note is different from 10 cedi notes. So different files. Put in what? Your purse. Gentlemen on the platform, see the folders as what? Your wallets. Except you don't like using wallets because people have been stealing wallets anyway. That is fine. So quickly, let us all do as I've said. How do you open a folder? Right click. That is why I started with what? Clicking, double click, and all those. So I've taught you that. Nobody should ask me, madam, there's no right click here. Right click on your desktop. What is a desktop? It's the interface when you open your laptop or your desktop. If you are using the whole machine, we call it a desktop. Some of the machines are desktops. The one that has with the system unit attached to it is a desktop. But when you get your monitor or a laptop or whatever you have, the screen itself is referred to as what? A desktop. Do you understand? It's also referred to as a desktop. So it's in two folds. That machine that has the system unit attached to it, usually call it desktop. However, on the machine itself, the screen, whether laptop or desktop, the screen that consists of icons, files, and folders, they are all, this interface is called a desktop. So when I say go to your desktop, don't say, madam, I don't have a desktop, I have a laptop. I mean the interface or the screen of your laptop as soon as you boot your machine. As soon as you on your machine.
Hello, madam.
It's hello.
Madam, please, the screen, can we also call it monitor?
Okay. Ideally, the monitor is not the screen. It is the device, the whole device.
Okay.
Well, I know where you're coming from. If you are using the computer, as in the desktop computer, you see, they are, Rebecca is saying, should I don't want to use the word branding because it is actually computers where you had evolved. Those days, monitor and say I can't say etikopo. That is the monitor. You see, that was the monitor then. Then this etikopo began to take the shape of a flat screen. And so I flat, sir. Once a flat screen, so what heavy kakra. As I say, lady be and said that ye etikopo, and so and said that flat screen, kakra or kakra. Saline. The gentlemen will attest to it. They have grades. They are grades in classifying ladies. They have names for it. So that is the desktop. Then we have another one too that is actually like a store thing, like a flat screen side of it's evolving to branch way. But monitor no one was used to refer to as the etikopo. So what I'm saying is, if you have the machine with your 60 minutes, sometimes they put the machine on the 60 minutes. Sometimes the 60 minutes is standing alone. That machine was usually referred to as a desktop. But in the part on talking about the part of a computer, when you on your desktop, the screen is referred to as a desktop. Whether a laptop or a desktop itself, the screen is referred to as a desktop. So when I say go to your desktop, that means go to the screen, enter any part of the screen. If you want space, just right click on it. When you right click on it, I'm sure you would find some options. And then Rebecca say a pop-up menu will come. You see, whenever you click something and a menu comes, you call it a pop-up menu. So on a pop-up menu, I'm sure there is folders. Have you tried it? Try it and let's see. Then you name the folder for us. Have you all tried it? So name the folder as document processing 1. And then when I send you the assignment on quickly put me to the page so that right after the class, I can send you the trial questions. It is the objective test questions that would help you to remember some of these shortcuts that we studied, as well as the assessment test practice session. That is the last part of the slide. You have to practice that. Those two are your assignment for this week. So you go and then practice them and put them in the document processing folder. Name them. The name that you would remember. Okay, the name that you would remember. So that anytime I ask you, okay, some time ago we were having a practice, I said you should do this. Go and bring that file. You just submit that file and nothing else. Then you get your marks, you go. I want to use this technique to ensure that everybody fully participates in the course. Practically, you should be doing it. So what we are saying is that in some operating system, it is called a directory. Yes, so folders can also be called directory. And for example, in document processing 2, we will do a particular topic called mailings. And mailings is a form of, is a way of sending a lot of letters or memos to a large, just one. one letter or one memo or one document to a large group of people with separate contact details. For example, GES, and as a regional director, is sending a letter or a memo to all senior high schools in Cape Coast with the same content and information. If there are 20 senior high schools in Cape Coast, do you think we are going to type them one by one? No, we type only one content, and then we have a way to duplicate the content by using different mails or different addresses, and that process is called mailings. When we are doing document processing and you get the opportunity for me to teach mailings, you would come across the word directory, and that is where you find that the directory in the mailings that we are yet to teach, that is probably next year, that is document processing 2 when you come back. That directory in mailings actually is referred to as a folder, because your directory has a list of files there, and that files are probably the details or the contact numbers, not just numbers, it could be the address, contact details for the individual organizations or the people you want to forward the bunch mails to. So you have one content of message. The message is saying that all headmasters in senior high schools are supposed to come to the regional offices for a meeting this date time. It's the same content of the message given to 10 schools. You're not going to type it 10 times. You are going to use what? Mailings to do that. And mailings now you come across the word directory. And that is the operating system that you use there. The directory there is just like the folder. And so during mailings, I will not say go to your folder and take headmaster for Fanchinasi schools details. For better, I'll tell you, go to the directory and then go and pick up the headmaster from Inchinasi Secondary School. Now, put it down and go to the directory. You find another headmaster's, another school's address there. They all, so it is the same idea. What did we say? Folder is like your purse or your wallet, where you have different currencies in them, isn't it? So the same applies in the directory. Directory can be your purse or your wallet, where your different currencies may be different addresses of senior high schools in your region. Do you understand? So that is what we mean by folders. Are we good to go? We have about 25 minutes. So even though we're not finished unit 2, but at least we should be on a good note. So have you all opened your Word documents? First and foremost, were you able to open the folder? Have we named it Document Processing 1?
I've been able to do it.
Those with laptops, please, let's see you. If you have done it, give us a thumbs up. I have spiritual eyes, so when you see, you give me thumbs up, and my spiritual eyes get to wherever you are, I will give you a heavy knock. You will flip your head. I've seen 3 Samilia, okay? All right. You're afraid to receive spiritual knocks, eh? That's good. So the taskbar, what is the taskbar? The rectangular bar that runs horizontally across the screen, the bottom of the screen. So when you open your Word document, I'm sure now we can open Word document. What did we say you should do? When you go to the start button, just click on Word document, Word, Microsoft Word. Either you search by typing manually, or when you go to the start button and you go to all programs. At the all programs, I'm sure Word will not be far-fetched. But if your programs, ideally they are arranged alphabetically, then please be scrolling down, because W is definitely at the bottom. Do you get it? Then go and take Word document at the bottom of all programs. When you click on all programs, just scroll down, go for your Word, and then open your Word document. It gives you a blank page. That blank page, what we mean by the taskbar is the horizontal line that runs across the bottom of the screen. At that part, what do you see? Hey, I think I'm mistaken. That is the never ban. I'm not so I've confused it to the one on the Word document. Sorry. So the taskbar is actually what is on your desktop, where you go to the start button and then find your all programs and search for it. Okay. All these things should be something that you should just be familiarizing yourself with, but you want us to talk about it anyway. When you want to open an icon, what do? You just select the icon and you press enter, right? You can as well double click on the icon and it opens for you. And you can right click on the icons. These are petty things you should know. Creating a wallpaper. I don't know why, but I think you're creating a wallpaper anyways. Why do you want to even change your wallpaper? Let's move on. Use for your reading. Why do you want to change your screensaver? Wallpaper and screensaver, what is the difference? We use them interchangeably, right? What?
Hey, please, I can't hear anything. Or it's my network.
She's awful.
Oh,
She's off.
okay.
I'm trying to get
Okay.
her back.
Okay.
I think the network is not good.
Please, let's all exercise patience. We can't hear her for now. But I tried prompting her.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello,
please,
good.
you can hear.
Okay, please, I'm the online monitor for Code Switch, and I wanted to ask if your lecturer has closed the class.
I think it's the network.
The
Is the
network,
She was on, but all at a sudden it dropped.
it went on.
Okay,
The network is bad.
let me call her and find out what is going on, and I'll get back
Oh,
to you.
okay. Okay.
Thank
That's fine.
Hello. Please, I've tried to reach Dr. Billion and Joyce, but unfortunately, she isn't picking up. I think your class ends at 11 a.m., right?
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay,
We
so I
have
think
another lecture at 11:50.
11:50, no problem. So I think we can all leave this one, and then when it's time, you join with the next link because it's 10:56, and she
Okay.
isn't picking up. So I think it's
So,
safe to
let's
assume.
wait up to 11. When it's exactly 11, then we leave.
Okay, no problem. I
Uh,
understand.
okay.
But just 3 minutes.